Greetings, guys, and today we are continuing from our journey. So we'll take the day 31. And let's rest before our journey, our planned journey. Why is there so many reds on this land? That's the question. So, what we have here? Previously, we've explored some of the caves and the mines and the tombs. I think we explored two tombs, two of them, and the egg mines, which were a pretty huge place where we collected a ton of eggs. I think we are carrying them around even to this day, 31 units of them. Next thing. What is next? I think we need to do sound a little lower. I bet that this is a right decision, even maybe a little bit lower, like that. I hope that it helps to hear me more clearly. So the most important stuff for our journey is that we were attacked by assassins, which were tricky to fight, and that's not important really. The important stuff about this assassin is that he left with his death, obviously, his whole or armor set again. And this armor set is about 1,500 value. 1,500 gold pieces that we've collected. We didn't collect it exactly gold pieces, but we can trade this armor out at the nearest trader. And nearest trader is Port Moonmoth, which is appeared to be right here. We've come to it. And so another important information, so we will trade it. And another important information for today's stream is that this stream will be about books. We will read a ton of books. And to be honest with you, we'll see how it goes. But I think no, let's be more precise. This stream will not go out of this fort. We can't go out of this fort. We can't go out of this fort. We will trade the stuff, read the books, and if we will complete it quickly, then this will be a quick stream. Not the bad stuff, really. So okay, this is our good friend. We have some moon sugar, which he's not liking. Okay, we found it, I think, somewhere in tombs. We'll fix the problem. What moon sugar does? Fortify speed. Can we fortify speed with something? Something else, I mean. A goatee hide. Let's do it. Fail the potion. But nonetheless, we get rid of this moon sugar. Butter. Common shot. Nordic X, nothing of interest here. See how much he will give us for the stuff. So we will not leave this moon moth in this stream, in this part of the in this day, part of our journey. We ended before. And today we will trade, do alchemy, and read books. That's it. Simple stream. Okay. So now we are reap our loot, reap the harvest that we have. Yeah. What can we do? Well, let's trade useless potions. Let's just get rid of this useless stuff. I think that there is a potion of paralyzation. Not cure paralyzation, but the paralyzation itself. No? Am I wrong? I might be wrong. Maybe they all failed. Create itself. Okay, ignore my comments. We don't need this not to his car. Okay, so let's trade it out. Yeah. What can we trade? Trade all the swords. And now we can trade, first of all, this potion. I think it's very bad. Let's see. Wait a second. Need to check all the health potions. This one is a nice one. Oh, no, it's not a nice one. It's semi-bad. 5 more health for 8 seconds. Okay. Will be nice for the future. Restore. So this is a good potion. This is kinda weak one. So I think we will trade out these weak health potions. I don't believe in them. For fatigue, we will leave out. How many fatigue? And see, it's a weak stuff. So this one we can trade. We don't need so weak potions. Because you see, these potions, I needed to drink them. And really, I'm drinking a potion only in desperate situations. So yeah, I will not drink it. Just willy-nilly. 45 personality. I think it's good one. We will trade this out for the future trading. Personality will be needed in the future. Okay, now we'll get the armor. Maybe we've increased it too much. Trying to sell me the same stuff that we had. The anticipations. We'll look around for that. Okay, let's say that it's okay as a bargain. He is glad to. So there was a book that I've interested. the anticipations. There are two choices. The first one is that it is on his table. The other one is that we've traded him this before. Okay. Imperial Steel Pauldron. So they are selling the Imperial armor, but I'm not an Imperial person. That's interesting. So we can buy the outfit. That can be a different person entirely. Let's trade him her 2 pieces of armor. and she instantly put these items on herself. I use the same.
You've got the better of me, so go ahead.
I sell you a boot of this assassin. I believe I do. Let's just check this out. Oh no, I can't. I just wanted to kill him to loot, to see if he has assassin boots, but I believe that this is the right information. As you can see, I have the boots of assassin. He has exactly the same model, so no doubts about that.
Don't stand about.
Okay, let's move on. Spells. I think we could missed this one. Mother Kiss. Why Mother's Kiss? It's for myself. This one is interesting. Let's buy it. Maybe we could heal someone with that. Mother's Kiss. 10 to 20 health. 10 to 20 health for 1 second. Not a barter. We don't need a barter here. Health. 10 to 20. I don't know. Perfect palm. 3 for 3 to 30. 10 to 20. What's the difference? We can calculate the average. At the average, it's almost the same here. Let's see what's the average on that. Here's weaker average. So let's buy the Mother's Kiss because it is more. Its average is almost the same as like this perfect palm. However, the kiss is more steady, less random. Okay. By the way, I'm interested in AI interaction. If I do something like, if I heal her, will she be aggressive? Seems like not. It's good. Because it's logical. She could be aggressive. For some reason. Oh, all the stuff is almost restoration 1. Okay, let's ignore it. Oh. Can we barter with her for something? Okay. Pajama looks like something illegal. But I think it's like just alcohol. Good restore potion. It's alcohol again. Stuff that is kinda useless. It's bad stuff. I'm sorry, but it is. What could we trade to them?
Let's hear it.
Maybe you? 400 gold. Delicious. Wakizashi. Short blade. It's the same book. Okay, that's interesting. But not enough. Straight him. A gloves, maybe. And a cap. And everything for 305 gold. Okay, maybe like that. Yeah, and he's and he instantaneously get it on his face. Ah, you guys. Steel katana. Let's take it.
Stolen for the last time.
Why I'm doing something like that? Okay, let's reload. I just wanted to look at it. Already. We'll look at these items a little bit later. Could we do something with enchanting? On our X. Huh. For poison on touch. Okay. That's its super useless ability. So you hit with axe, and with some chance it will cure his poison. So if your friend is in trouble, you can hit him a few times with axe, and his poison will be healed. That seems so stupid. But it is as stupid as you want it to be. You can do a healing axe. Shock damage. Costly. Duration. How money is bumping up. This enchantment is not for our hopes. And sell him the last stuff. Some money. Okay. So another two stuff that we found, two items that we found, which is worth mention, is a shield, which has value of 2550, which is very big amount. So it's like a full set of this armor that we found, that we are sold right now, that we sold right now. The full set of this armor we sold, which is so good that all people that I've traded it, they are putting it on themselves instantaneously. So that full set of armor is almost like the same as just selling this shield, and maybe this shield is even more valuable than all the set. At least they're kind of the same. Yeah, it's good. 2550. It's very big. We have a 4,000 gold for the comparison. So if you could be if we find a good trade for this shield, we'll get almost the half of our money. Okay. We found this, oh no, this amulet, which restore our health, which is important. We have also the amulet that allows us to slow fall, which is given by the explorers that looking for the mating of the Skagoti, I think, or how they called, I forgot. I think Kagoti. These frog-like creatures, giant frog-like creatures. And last, but oh no, it is not least. It is more costly than these emeralds, than these diamonds with the sum. You can summate all of my items, all of my whole set of armor, and all my magical items, and all the reagents, and all the golds, even. And even that is at least comparable, or maybe less, than the items that we found for some reason from the hideous monster called Hunger. And this item is this one. Sorana Ebony Helm. Its value is 15,000 gold pieces. It is more than the Druid Shield by 7 times. It is more than our current gold by more than 3 times. We've collected the gold, we rarely spend it on something. And we can increase just by one item this gold in 3 times. If you trade it good. But I think it's hard to trade this item. To trade this item, we need to find someone to trade this helm, which looks like a pot on the head. So to trade this item, we need to find someone with 15,000 gold pieces, or at least 8,000 gold pieces, which is hard in this world. Okay. Let's look at his spells again. Do we find something interesting? So Feet of Notorgo is looking nice for me. Because where is Feet of Notorgo? We'll buy it out of him. I think it could be a nice skill to us. Just to travel ourselves for the long distances. Let's see, can we use it even right now? And we can't. We have 0 chance of it casting out. Ah, we have no magica for that. That's really a shame. Anyway. Julianus. You're always talking to us the stories. So we will not talk to these people, we will talk to the books. Now the story times begins. Story time. Wait, I just need a little analyze what we have here. Frontier conquest or down. Hydra and Hydra. And to find the path of the pilgrim, I think. This book. Just want to read all the books that we have on our disposal here. Butter. This one we traded him before. It's our book. And it will be stupid to buy it back. because it's a useless book reading.
What's this about?
So funny to see him with his helmet. Okay, goodbye. You? The Pilgrim's Path. Is it somewhere on shelves? Yes, it is. Oh my god. Frontier Conquest. So there is no such thing as good. Good items. I think we will buy this belt. Maybe. Fire damage on target. This is weak one. We'll buy this one. Five gold is. It's very cheap. Yeah, we get it. So okay. Let's reading begins. After we will go out of this shelf. Are you ready? I hope you are. So what we are reading right now, the annotated annotate. Let's do this. The annotate paraphrased. The first ones were brothers, Anu and Padamai. They came into the void and time began. As Anu and Padamai wandered the void, the interplay of light and darkness created New York. Both Anu and Padamai were amazed and delighted with her appearance, but she loved Anu and Padamai retreated from them in bitterness. Near became pregnant, but before she gave birth, Padamai returned, professing his love for Nia. She told him that she loved only Anu, and Padamai beat her in rage. Anu returned, fought Padamai, and cast him outside time. Nier gave birth to creation, but died from her injuries soon after. Anu, grieving, hid himself in the sun and slept. Meanwhile, life sprang up on the 12 worlds of creation and flourished. After many ages, Padamai was able to return to time. He saw creation and hated it. He swung his sword, shattered the 12 worlds. 12 worlds in their alignment. Anu awoke and fought Padamai again. The long and furious battle ended with Anu the victor. Cast aside the body of his brother, who believed was dead, and attempted to save creation by forming the remnants of the 12 worlds into one, Nirn, the world of Tamriel. As he was doing so, Padamai struck him through the chest with one last blow. Anu grappled with his brother and pulled them both outside the time forever. The blood of Padamai became the Daedra. The blood of Anu became the stars. The mingled blood of both became the Aedra, hence their capacity for good and evil, and their greater affinity for earthly affairs than Daedra, who have no connection to creation. On the world of Nirn, all was chaos. The only survivors of the 12 worlds of creation were the Echlnophei and the Hist. The Echlnophei are the ancestors of Mer and Man. The Hist are the trees of Argonia. Nirn originally was all land, was with interspread seas but no oceans. A large fragment of the Echlnophei world landed on Nirn relatively intact, and the Echlnophei living there were the ancestors of the Mer. This Echnophae fortified their borders from the chaos outside, hid their pockets of calm, and attempted to live on as before. Other Echnophae arrived on Nirn, scattered amid the confused jumble of the scattered worlds, wandering and finding each other over the years. Eventually, the wandering Echnophae found the hidden land of old Echnophae and were amazed and joyful to find their kin living amid the splendor of ages past. The wandering Echnophae expected to be welcomed into the peaceful realm, but the old Echnophae looked on them as degenerates, fallen from their former glory. For whatever reason, war broke out and raged across the whole of Nirn. The old Echnophae retained their ancient power and knowledge, but the wanderers were more numerous and toughened by their long struggle to survive on Nirn. This war reshaped the face of Nirn, sinking much of the land beneath new oceans and leaving the lands as we know them: Tamriel, Akavir, Atmora, and Yakuda. The old Echnophae realm, although ruined, became Tamriel. The remnants of wanderers were left divided on the other three continents. After many years, the Echnophae of Tamriel became the Mer elves, the Dwemer, the Deep Ones, sometimes called dwarfs, the Chimmer, the Changed One, who later became the Dunmer, Dark Elves. The Dunmer, the Dark or Cursed Ones, the Dark Elves. Wait a second, there was a Dunmer? They later becomes Dunmer. So the Dunmer, the Dark or Cursed Ones, the Dark Elves, the Bosmer, the Green or Forest Ones, the Wood Elves, the Altmer, the Elder or High Ones, the High Elves. On the other continents, the wandering Echnophae became the men, the North of Atmora, the Red Guards of Yakuda, and the Tsaesi of Akavir. The East were bystanders in the Echnophae War, but most of their realm was destroyed as the war passed over it. A small corner of it survived and to become Black Marsh in Tamriel, but most of their realm was sunk beneath the sea. Eventually, men returned to Tamriel. The Norse were the first, colonizing the western coast of Tamriel for recorded history, led by the legendary Yuzgramor. The 13th of his line, King Harald, was the first to appear in written history, and so the mythic era ended. So the story how the world appeared here, and it's the story how all the races became to be. However, there are no description of orcs, of Khajiits, and of Argonian, I think. So that's interesting. That was annotated annuet. I want to check one thing. Here's another annotated annuet. I think it's exactly the same. Let's read the anticipations. The anticipations. The dead are powerful ancestor spirits, similar in form and substance to the tribunal, blessed be their holy names, but weaker in power and more arbitrary and removed from the affairs of mortals. In old times, the Chimera worshipped the Dwaedra as gods, but they did not deserve this veneration, for the Daedra harm their worshippers as often as help them. The advent of the tribunal blessed by the holy names, changed this unhappy state. By the apotheosis, the tribunal, he will not repeat the paraphrase, the text in parentheses, became the protectors and high ancestor spirits of the Dunmer, and bade the Daedra to give proper veneration and obedience. The three good Daedra, Boethius, Azura, and Mephala, recognized the divinity of the triune ancestors. The rebel Daedra, Molakbal, Malakas, Sheogaras, and Mehrunes Dagon refused to swear fealty to the tribunal, and their worshippers were cast out. This rebel Daedra thus becomes the four corners of the house of troubles, and they continued to plague our tranquility and tempt the unaware into heresy and dark worship. The priests of the temple remain ever vigilant for the signs of the adversary's return, sometimes aided by the loyal three good Daedra, who are familiar with the wiles of their rebellious king. The good Daedra are known to the temple as the Anticipations, since they are the early ancestral anticipations of the loving patronage of the tribunal. The Anticipations are the Daedra, Lord Boethiah, Mephala, and Azura. Boethiah is the anticipation of Almalexia, but male to her female. Boethiah was the ancestor who illuminated the elves ages ago, before the mythic era which we read before. He told them the truth of Lorkhan's test and defeated Ariel champion Trinimac. Boethius ate Trinimac and voided him. The followers of the Boethiah and Trinimac rubbed the soil of Trinimac upon themselves and changed their skins. Mephala is the anticipation of Vivids, but manifold and androgynous. Mephala taught the Chimera to evade their enemies or kill them with secret murder. The Chimera were few in those days and threatened on all sides. Mephala taught the Chimera to build houses. Later, Mephala created the Morak tongue. Azuri is the anticipation of Thotha Sil, but female to his male. Azura was the ancestor who taught the Chimera how to be different from the Altmer. Her teachings are sometimes attributed to Boethiah. In the stories, Azura is often encountered more as a communal progenitor of the race as a whole rather than as an individual ancestor. She is associated with dusk and dawn and is sometimes called the Mother Soul. Azura's star, also called the Twilight Star, appears briefly at the dawn and dusk low on the horizon below the constellation of the Steed. Azura is associated with mystery and magic, fate and prophecy. Think you can have a sign for Azura. The sign of the evening star. Are we at night? Yeah. And don't ask me to find the star. Probably somewhere there. Okay, let's move on. So, we were kinda lucky because the annotated annotate was like the first thing on the story, and this based on it. That's good. This we read it in right order. So what can we read next? For my gods and emperor. Let's read this. How many pages is this? A lot. So let's do it. For my gods and emperor, a handbook for the imperial cult. What is imperial cult? The missionary arm of the great faith. The imperial cult brings divine inspiration and consolation to the empire's remote provinces. The cult combines the worship of the nine divines, the Aedra, Akatosh, Dibella, Arcray, Zenithar, Mara, Standar, Kinnereth, and Julianus, and the Talus cult, veneration of the divine god hero Tiber Septim, founder and patron of the empire. Empire cult priests provide worship and services for all these gods, gods at imperial shrines in settlements throughout Verdafell. What is the virtuous life? Our doctrines are simple. We acknowledge the divinity of the nine divines Akatosh, Dibella, Arcray, Zenitar, Mars, Stendar, Kinores, Julianus, and Tiber Septim. Why they're always repeating them? Anyway, we preach the nine virtues: humility, inspiration, piety, work, compassion, justice, ambition, learning, and civility. Our emperor is a defender of the faith, and the empire is the worldly working of the divine plan. We pledge aid and comfort to all citizens in need, and serve the emperor and empire at his will. The imperial cults look to the nine divines as models for living a good and virtuous life. Each of the nine represents different aspects of life and how it should be lived. But the simplest statement of our doctrines is help and protect one another. The stronger one is, the wealthier one is, the more one bears responsibility for helping and protecting others. One's first, one's first duty, of course, is to one's fellow members of the imperial cult. But after that, one should help and protect any needy persons. We also say, do not harm one another. It is forbidden to attack another person of the imperial cult, and of course forbidden to kill another member. It is forbidden to steal from another member, whether by open theft or by covert pickpocketing. It is forbidden to trespass upon the private property of another member. Break any one of these rules and be expelled from the cult. You maybe can't believe me, but I think we read this, not the book, but we received the same thing in dialogue with imperial cultists, which are one of them in this world, as the force of empire. Okay, by the way, there's some difference in imperial and, or maybe it's right, maybe it's right English. Anyway, the imperial cult accepts all citizens of good character and earnest faith. We ask only need and serve the emperor and the empire at will. Wait a second, a little bit of second. So this one is another cultist. We can talk to him. Maybe it's wrong. So yeah, no, and never mind. I think he said to me, just read this book. So let's continue. Um, the Empire Cult accepts all citizens of good character and earnest faith. We ask only one-time pledge of 50 drakes to aid us in our good works. Thereafter, the only cost of membership comes when you use our health, healing, and blessing shrines. Modest fees which help us spread the blessings of the nine to those less fortunate than ourselves. Those who wish to join the imperial cult in Vandervale will find a warm welcome from our cult greeters. Yukva at Fort Pelagiat, Silaria Ceruleus, Ceruleolus at Bookmos Legion Fort, Sormitus Vunis at Moonmos Legion Fort, Rutsa Carnicia in the Grand Council Chambers in Ebonheart, or Lalatia Varian in the Imperial Chapels at Ebonheart. So I believe we are near the Somutis Vunis right now. What are the Imperial requirements for the advancement in the Imperial cult? Seekers who wish to advance in the service of the Nine must dedicate time and resources to serving the cult and must strive for personal improvement in their attributes and skills. Only the most distinguished and worthy, or distinguished are worthy of advancement to the higher ranks in the imperial cults. To serve and glorify the nine divines, the faithful must cultivate a noble personality and a strong will, respect the magical arts, especially the qualities of restoration, mysticism, and conjuration. Those who swear to avoid bloodshed, to take the field unarmored, to fight only with blunt weapons, are especially praiseworthy. Knowledge of enchantments and the gift of diplomatic speech are other quantities we value in our initiatives. Imperial Cult Services. You can find cult services in Bakhmut's Legion, blah blah blah. Okay, many Imperial Cult locations have healing altars. You may pray at Imperial Cult healing altars and receive blessings which cure la 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 la. It's like price list. Uh, Opportunities for service. Lay healers gather ingredients for health and healing potions and minister to the sick and hurt in poor and isolated communities. It is difficult and sometimes dangerous work, but the spiritual rewards are great. Lay healers need only the skills of the prudent traveler, being often on the road and in the wilderness, gathering herbs and potion components. They should avoid trouble where possible, and so need not be masters of the arts of war. Those interested should speak to Sinolear Unifus at the Emperor Chapels in Ebenheim. That's the interesting part. We are collecting a ton of ingredients, such as herbs. Almoners gather alms from members and friends of the faith. We depend on donations to fund most of our good works. Almoners who are successful at bringing in generous donations may rise in the ranks of imperial cult service. Almoners must travel in town and village and should be skilled in persuasion and mercantile matters. Also, almoners whose personal wealth are in position to better serve the cult. Those interesting should speak to Illustructor at the Imperial chapels in Ebenheart. So there are few possibilities to do with this Imperial cult. Very interesting. So much possibilities in this game. Oracle's quests are the most demanding of all Imperial cult missions. Only members of the higher ranks are invited to assist this oracle, and the challenges require the skill and courage found only in Heroes of Legend. How do the Imperial cults view the other factions of Vanderfell? The Imperial cults have a very close relationship with the Imperial legions, and a friendly and supportive relationship with the Imperial guilds, especially the fighters and mages guilds. Well, we also have a friendly and supportive relationship with House Hlalu, which strongly supports the emperor and imperial principles. That's bad because if you read before about the House of Lalu, it's a house of aristocrats, the bourgeoisie, and the principles are to help themselves, help their kings, and have their guild only. And then they do it by means of um, doing harm to other houses, to other people, by using the slavery, other nasty stuff. So House of Lalu is immoral guild here, at least for my opinion. Anyway, that's beside the point. I just found it is interesting that this imperial cult is in friendship with them. I understand the relationship that their boss liking the emperor once for I think imperial cult is because it's emperor and because they believe that empire gives the peace to the temporal and as a difference uh, House of Lalu I think just loving empire and emperor because it is a power in the world. It has the power, it has the ability, and it just need a good fortune for this power. So that's why they're liking the stuff. Okay, which strongly supports the emperor and imperial principles. So yeah. Though we cannot condone the actions of the Thieves Guild, we praise their faithful dedication to the emperor and to imperial culture. The imperial cults have the greatest respect for the high moral principles of House Veteran, which I never heard of, and the Morak tongue and honors their different but noble conceptions of divine inspiration. We disapprove of the primitive heathen beliefs of the Ashlanders and of the impious and inhumane practices of the Telvanni. The imperial cult especially disapproves of the practice of slavery and looks forward to the day when slavery is illegal in all imperial provinces. Why is there lacking then House of Lalu? Maybe I've met bad persons of House of Lalu. I've found, if you look at my previous parts of walkthrough, we found the House of Aristocrats of Dunmers that used slave kajits at the field, and they always embrace their House of Lalu and say that this is one of their principles to just be wealthy, mostly wealthy by yourself and by your kings. Anyway, so I digress. The imperial cult also disapproves of the lawless and greedy Kamona Tong and their ruthless exploitation of the poor and weak. Historically, our relationship with the Tribunal Temple is difficult and unfriendly. Though the imperial cult acknowledges the lords and saints of the temple pantheon as worthy inspirations, the temple falsely insists that there is the one true faith, and that the imperial cults worship false gods. The typical religion stuff. I'm sorry. Okay, so we read this one. Frontier Conquest and Pilgrim's Path. And what's the book behind? Okay, that's an interesting one. Let's read it. Aedra and Aedra. The designations of gods, demons, Aedra and Aedra are universally confusing to the layman. They are often used interchangeably. Aedra and Daedra are not relative terms. They are elvish and exact. Azura is the Daedra both in Skyrim and Morrowind. Aedra is usually translated as ancestor, which is as close as Cyrodiilic can come to this Elven concept. Daedra means roughly not our ancestors. This distinction was crucial to the Dunmer, whose fundamental split in ideology is represented in their mythical genealogy. Aedra are associated with stasis. The Aedra represent change. Aedra created the mortal world and are bound to the earth's bones. The Aedra who cannot create have the power to change. As part of the divine contract of creation, the Aedra can be killed. Witness Lorkhan and the moons. The Protean Daedra for whom the rules do not apply can only be banished. That's it. That's the whole book. The whole book, this whole big book, is like 2 pages. You just open it, look at it, and then close. Close it as a whole. Okay, let's read something else. So yeah, this one. Corullius Pontania. This one can bring us to the Imperial Code, which we may add. We'll see. Frontier Conquest. Frontier Conquest and Accommodation. A social history of Cyrodiil University of Gwilym Press. Third era, 344 year. Historians often portray the human settlement of Tamriel as a straightforward process of military expansion of the north of Skyrim. In fact, human settlers occupied nearly every corner of Tamriel before Skyrim was ever founded. These so-called Nedic peoples include the Proto-Cyrodiilians, the ancestors of the Britons, the Aboriginals of Hammerfell, and perhaps a now vanished human population of Morrowind. Strictly speaking, the Nords are simply another of these Nordic peoples, Nedic peoples. The only one that failed to find a method of peaceful accommodation with the elves who already occupied Tamriel. Ysgramor was certainly not the first human settler in Tamriel. In fact, in fleeing civil war in Atmora, as the Song of Return states, Ysgramor was following a long tradition of migration from Atmora. Tamriel had served as a safety valve for Atmora for centuries before Ysgramor's arrival. Malcontents, dissidents, rebels, landless younger sons all made the difficult crossing from Atmora to the new world of Tamriel. Newer archaeological excavations date the earliest human settlements in Hammerfell, High Rock, and Cyrodiil at ME. I know it's ME. Millions era? I know. 800 to 1000. Centuries earlier than Ysgramor even assuming that the 12 Lord Kings prior to Harald were actual historical figures. The Nordic people were a minority in a land of elves, and had no choice but to live peacefully with the elder race. In High Rock, Hammerfell, Cyrodiil, and possibly Morrowind, they did just that, and the Nordic people flourished and expanded over the last centuries of the Merithic era, so it's maybe Merithic era 800 1000. Only in Skyrim did this accommodation break down as event recorded in the Song of Return. Perhaps being close to reinforcements uh, from Atmora, the Proto-Nords did not feel it necessary to submit to the authority of the Skyrim elves. Indeed, the early Nord chronicles note that under King Harald, the first historical Nord ruler, first era 113 to 221, which is more than 100 years, by the way, to rule, so they're living quite long. The Atmoran mercenaries returned to their homeland, following the consolidation of Skyrim as centralized kingdom. Uh, Whatever the case, the pattern was set. In Skyrim, expansion would precede militarity, with human settlement following the frontier of conquest, and the line between human territory and elven territory was relatively clear. But beyond this zone of conflict, the other Nordic people continued to merge with their elven neighbors. When the Nord armies of the First Empire finally entered High Rock and Cyrodiil, they found Bretons and Proto-Cyrodiils already living this among the elves. Indeed, the Nords found it difficult to distinguish between elves and Breton. The two races had already interminged to such a degree. The arrival of the Nord armies upset the balance of power between the Nordic peoples and the elves. Although the Nords' expansion into High Rock and Cyrodiil was relatively brief, less than 2 centuries, the result was decisive. From then, from then on, power in those regions shifted from the elves to the humans. That's the story. And I have a last book here. I think last book on this table. Let's read it. Your journal is updated. For some reason. The pilgrim must visit each of the shrines of the seven graces. At each site, the pilgrim must stand before the three-sided stone triolith and read the inscription. To ease the pilgrim's task, the temple has made this list of shrines along with directions and advice to pilgrims. The blessings of each shrine last at least a half day. The Fields of Kumu, Shrine of Humility. Here Lord Vivitz met a poor farmer whose guar had died. Wait a second. Didn't we read it before? It's like a quest form in my mind. So I believe we briefly read maybe this first paragraph, or more reasonable story is that we read something like that, or the same story like this Fields of Camus, but from another point of view, because this world is connected. It's okay. Here Lord Vivitz met a poor farmer whose guar had died. The farmer could not harvest his mac without his guar, and he could not provide for his family or his village. So the Lord Vivitz removed his fine clothes and toiled in the fields like a beast of burden until crop is harvested. Yeah, la 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 la. We read this before. The fields of Como are west of Soren on the north shore of Lake Amaya as you head towards Beljet, as we did before. Ah, the fields of Como, of course. We've been there. That's why I'm seeing it as a familiar story. We did the quest there, fight some enemies, so we've been there. And it's near the point where aristocrats of House of Lalu live. They live on the island near that. So we know where it is. Let's read next. To stop the moon, the Shrine of Daring. When Shreogas rebelled against the tribunal, he tricked the moon Bardao into forsaking its appointed path through oblivion. The Mad Star inspired the moon to hurl itself upon the Vivid's new city, which Shreogas claimed was built in the mockery of the heavens. When Vivids learned of Shirogo's scheme, he froze the rogue moon in the sky with a single gesture, and the grace of his countenance. Overwhelmed by the courage and daring of Viz, the moon Bardao swore itself to eternal service of the tribunal and all its works. Thus, the moon now stands guard over the palace and serves as a citadel for the temple's ordinators. The Shrine of Daring is found in the city of Vivets, in the temple district along the western wall of the High Fain, the great temple of Varmandel. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave behind potion of raising force. Suitable potions may be purchased from the temple. Homemade potions are not acceptable. What is this ritual? Okay, so pilgrim can use all the shrines. Will we go for this task? I want to go for this task. So let's buy this book. That's the pilgrim road. Just a little more cheaper. Come on. No persuasion for me. So we bought this book from the shelf, from the table. We read it more. Sorry. I think I need to drink a little bit of tea after all this intense reading. Suitable, yeah. Another one is the Palace Shrine of Generosity. Okay, let's read another one. Long after Lord Nerevar and the tribunal triumphed over Dagas Ur, the people wished to build a monument to the heroes of that war. Vivids thanked them, but said that it would be better to dedicate a monument not only to the glorious forces heroes, but to all people, great and small, who suffered and died in the war. It became the custom to make offerings here, either in thanks of our good fortune or for those less fortunate. The shrine of generosity is on the top steps of Vivid's palace, the southernmost canton of Vivid's city. The customary donation for those in good fortune is 100 gold. The puzzle canal, the shrine of courtesy. In a battle with Mehrun's Dagon, Vivid gave his own silver longsword to the Daedra Lord rather than dishonor himself by fighting. and unarmed foe. This is so impressed the Dremora, the most honorable and chivalrous of Mehrunes Dragon's Daedric servants, that they now share a bond of respect and courtesy with the followers of the tribunal, though we must never forget that they are our enemies. The Shrine of Courtesy is found in the heart of the Puzzle Canal, a labyrinth beneath Lord Vivid's palace in the city of Vivids. The journeys, though the Puzzle Canal can be confusing, and it is suggested that common pilgrims carry a scroll of Almsivi intervention in case they get lost. Almsivi intervention. The Dremora crust is found in the center of the puzzle canal, and will accept a plain silver longsword if spoken to with courtesy. After crust accepts the sword, pilgrims must read the inscription on the triolith. Okay. The Mask of Vivid's Shrine of Justice. Near the altar is Vivid's ash mask. In the days of fire, when Dagoth Ur first cramped back into Red Mountain and awakened it, Vivids led refugees here as they fled the ash and blight. Weary, they rested here a while. When Vivids awoke, he found himself and all his followers encased in casks of grey ash, frozen like a sleeping statue, and unable to free himself or help his people. Vivids was filled with despair. Vivid's tears awakened his ash chest. He tore the ash from his perished followers, breathed life into their lungs, and cured them of the blight. This is Vivid's heroism. His tender heart provides strength when his might fails. The Shrine of Justice is guarded within the Gnesis Temple in the village of Gnesis, northwest by road from the town of Aldruin. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave a potion of cure common disease as a token of your respect for justice. Suitable potions may be purchased from temple. Homemade potions are not acceptable. Come on, I'm good alchemist. Okay, let's move on. Coal Cave, the Shrine of Valor. Within the Coal Cave, Vius fought a battle with Radiman, the father of the Drave. When he defeated Rodiman, Vius spared his life, on the condition that Rodiman and his children would give up their tough hides to serve as armor for Dunmer. The Shrine of Valor is inside Coal Cave, a cavern on the Xia coast west of the ancient stronghold Berandas and south of Nisus. The cave mouth faces south towards the sea and is marked by a large natural arc of stone. The region is wilderness, and finding the cave mouth can be difficult. There within the cave itself are fearsome enemies. Only experienced and capable adventurers should attempt to reenact the epic battle with the Drave in the cave. Drave wax may be bought at the temple of Ignisis. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave the portion of Drave wax as a token of Vivid's victorious struggle with Rodiman. The Ghost Fence, the Shrine of Pride. The Ghost Fence is a lasting symbol of the indomitable will and power of Almsivi, and a monument to Dunmer pride in overcoming its enemies. The Shrine of Pride is found within the Ghost Fence, just northeast of the Ghost Gate itself. The safest road to Ghost Gate is along the Foyeda Mamaya, Mamaya, a volcanic ravine running from the top of the Red Mountain southwest to its end just below Balmora. An old Dwemer bridge crossed the Foyada near the Fort Monmouth. A, a pilgrim may follow the Foyada Mamere all the way to Ghost Gate. Any journey inside Ghost Fence is dangerous, but even the most timid pilgrim should be safe, so long as he does not stray too far from the Ghost Gate and flees from any minions of Dagos Ur. When you address the shrine, it is customary to leave Soul Gem in remembrance of our ancestors who were bound to the tribunal service. Tribunals. Okay. Whew, we read it. So it's a collection of all pilgrim shrines. The shrines that the pilgrim must visit. And what can I say? I don't know what can I say. I think we should visit them all if we can. Okay, let's move on. Is there any additional books here?
Hurry this up, will you?
Seems like not. Okay. Let's look for the books. Yeah.
So what do you want?
Frontier Conquest. We read it before? Yeah. It's about forting the Tamriel. I think this one was read before. Yeah, I think we read this before. Oh, it will be problematic to remember all the books that we read. So it will be shameful to read the same book twice.
Yes.
One was read. Frontier Conquest was read. We read this at the start of our journey. So this one isn't read. Let's do it. Ordo Legionis. The most disciplined and effective military force in history, the Imperial Legions preserve the peace and rule of law in the Empire. At need, the Legion garrisons can be swiftly mobilized to protect against invasions or internal disorders. But in Vanderfell district of Morrowind, the local forts help to ensure law and order, providing guards supplement the local guards, the local guards units of the temple and great house Hlalu, Redoran, and Telvanni. There are 5 Legion garrisons in Vanderfell district. The 3 town garrisons, Moonmoth Legion Fort in Balmora, Bookmoth Legion Fort in Outruch, and Fort Pillaget in Pillaget, are at full complement. The Hawkmoth Legion garrisoned at Castle Ebenhout is an elite Honor Guard unit and also at full complement. The Frontier Restoration Fort Darius in Gnisis village is currently the only understrength garrison on Vanderfell. Qualified citizens seeking enlistment in the Imperial Legion should apply to the commander of that garrison, General Darius. The Legion selects candidates on the basis of superior endurance, the soldierly virtue, and trustworthy personality. The citizen's virtue for service in the Legion is a model for the duties of imperial citizenship. Troopers are expected to demonstrate mastery of the long blade, the spear, and blunt weapons. The troops train with shields, and heavy armor, and so must be skilled at blocking and moving in heavy armor. As a trooper or knight, you must master the long blade, spear, and blunt weapons. You must block whenever blows you can, and take unblocked blows upon your heavy armor. Recruits must also be proficient at athletics, both to march long distances with heavy packs and to advance and maneuver, charge and retreat on the field of battle. So it says to us the requirements of who will be at the imperial leadership. I don't think that we are good for that. We will be not as imperial guards. We are not good with blunt weapons or spears. We are not using shields really. I never used it. We are orc mag. We are orc mags. Maybe battle mags. Battle mages. Okay, the last book for today
So what's this regarding?
is the Special Flora of Tamriel by Hardry the Herbalist. Wait a second. I want to take my cap on. Not the golden cap, but assassin cap. Okay, the last one. No. Here it is. The poppy, in both black and white varieties, may be found growing wild in the mountains of Hammerfell. Their succulent pods are often the only nourishment for adventurers who find themselves in the wilderness without rations. It is said that black and white poppies imbibed together have magical properties. When they are crushed and mixed with the milk of the agile-footed mountain goat, the resulting potions allows the user to glide safely above ground. So it means that if we will combine white and black poppies of, I don't know, black and white poppy pods with the milk of mountain goat, or maybe it's just additional words that useless, then we will get the feather potion or slow falling potion. Anyway, let's move on. Firefern, a perennial herb, is a native to the province of Morrowind. The flowers are inconspicuous and often hidden. The glossy evergreen foliage and the blossoms are resistant to conditions of high heat and bright light. A petal from this plant, placed under the adventurer's tongue, will provide protection from heat and fire of the lava and thermal streams around Dagos U. Dragon's tongue, common name for a fern-like herb found in Black Marsh, especially prolific around the area of the Ulcerous Swamp. It is a beautiful wildflower whose name comes from the fire-red fronds that protect its golden efflorescence. As pretty as it is, however, it is a deadly poison to most living beings and needs to be avoided by adventurers, especially unprotected ones, as it is lethal to the touch. It is said, however, the Argonians can handle the plant and use the sap derived from its roots to enhance their endurance. So they are hinting that Dragon's Tongue increases endurance. Domica redwort is a herb grown by many residents of Valenwood for their beautiful and showy flowers. They attain a height of about 3 feet and sport feathery leaves. The flowers are usually bright red. In addition to their beauty, they are said to have the magical ability of enhancing the appearance of anyone who carries or wears one of the blossoms. Ironwood nut is a hard-shelled fruit that comes from the ironwood trees growing deep in the forest of Skyrim. The wood of these trees is hard as the metal after which it is named. The very rare black variety of the ironwood is said to produce a nut which is very succulent and believed to greaten the strength of the adventurer who is able to crack its shell and partake it. I'm interested. Is it really the nut in the Skyrim, the game that is the Elder Scrolls 5, the Skyrim? I'm interested in that. I will Google it next time. The ginkgo leaves, which are found along the banks of rivers and lakes in Hammerfell, are most inconspicuous, only their peculiar half-moon shape making them noticeable. The edible foliage is very sweet and quite tasty. Legend has is that when mixed properly with the pulp of the aloe plant, the resulting concoction has the ability of increasing one's stamina for a short while. The Seminalius fern can be found in the swamps of Black Marsh. The fronds of this plant are light green and quite delicate. Picking a frond can be very difficult, as they usually crumble to the touch. But once retrieved, it can be used to put an enemy to sleep for a short while by placing it under his nose. Arrowroot is a thick, rubbery tuber that can be found in the province of Walnwood. The plant is quite difficult to find as its above ground foliage is very meager and scrawny, but the root itself can be most beneficial to the gatherer as it has magical properties. The paste made from grinding the root is quite wholesome and can improve the user's accuracy with a bow and arrow or other missile weapon. Nightshade, last herb that is written here, is reputed to be a very poisonous herb. However, the variety found in many parts of elsewhere is cherished by Khajiits who have taken up careers in thievery. Many Khajiits will tuck a piece of nightshade inside their armor to increase their ability to skulk, hide, and become invisible. So this book is interesting. Let's buy it from him. Oh, we can't. Come on. That's bullshit. Special flora of Tamriel. Let's run around and see where can we buy it. Barter? No. No chances here. Maybe here, barter? Two annotated tenuate with different covers. Interesting.
Don't stand about.
Goodbye. Maybe use one. Butter. Nope. Deadly. There is none of
I
this.
need time now.
But maybe you can give me. Nope. That's stupid. The book is right on the table, but there's no one who trades it. We get a little disappointment here. Let's check it again. Recheck it. Yeah, there's no books here.
Yes.
Okay, goodbye. Let's save and say goodbye to you. While we read the books, night has passed without any waiting. So, however, mana wasn't replenished this time. So, next time on this adventure, we'll go to the Balmora got something pointed out the map while we read it. I think like a ghost gate and Saldera. I don't know. Maybe it was before, written before, but it seems like not. So maybe in our journey we will find the altars that pilgrim shall partake in his journey. The 7 altars. We found one, which is here, Fields of Combo. But we'll do it in some relaxed fashion next time. So thank you for watching. We'll continue this journey another time. I'll encourage you to subscribe to the channel and enjoy my videos if you find some enjoyment there. Okay, have a good time.